For decades, right, the whole idea of what the government knows about UFOs, that's been fringe stuff. But in late 2020, something shifted. A series of official statements, a pretty shocking claim from an insider, and a really, really unusual piece of law just yanked this whole topic right into the spotlight.
So picture this. It's late 2020, and this massive, 5,593-page COVID-19 relief bill gets signed into law. It's full of all the stuff you'd expect, economic aid, healthcare, but buried deep, deep inside was something that had absolutely nothing to do with the pandemic. And it started a ticking clock on what could be one of the biggest secrets in the world.
Yep, you heard that right. Tucked away in that bill was a rule that gave the Director of National Intelligence and the Secretary of Defense just 180 days to tell Congress everything they knew about UFOs, or as they like to call them now, unexplained aerial phenomena. The countdown was on.
Okay, so you're probably thinking, a legal mandate like this, that's just wild. It can't have come out of thin air, right? And you'd be correct. This was actually the culmination of a slow, but very steady, drip of information from the most credible source you can imagine, the Pentagon itself. They were basically leaving us breadcrumbs.
The first really big breadcrumb dropped earlier that year. The Pentagon officially released 3 videos that were taken by Navy pilots. And look, this wasn't some blurry backyard footage. This was official military video of objects doing things that just, well, they seem to completely defy our understanding of physics.
And then, a report from the New York Times came out that was even more stunning. It said that a source who'd given a classified briefing to a Defense Department agency used this exact phrase. We're not talking about fuzzy lights in the sky anymore. This is talk about physical hardware, actual craft, described as not made on this earth.
And this is the stuff that's really blowing the military's mind. The objects they're encountering have no wings, no engines you can see, no obvious propulsion at all. Yet they can maneuver in ways that would literally crush a human pilot, pulling G-forces way beyond anything our technology is capable of. So while the Pentagon is over here cautiously releasing these little cryptic details, a very highly respected figure from another country decided, you know what, forget the hints. And he just went straight for the headline. And let me tell you, his story changes everything. Meet Haim Eshed. Now, this is not some fringe theorist. This man ran Israel's space security program for 30 decades. He's a highly respected, award-winning professor. So when a guy like this decides to talk, people tend to listen. In this absolutely jaw-dropping interview on December 4th, 2020, Eshed just came right out and said it. He didn't use words like phenomena or off-world vehicles. No, he used the word extraterrestrials. And he claimed this contact isn't new, it's been going on in secret for years.
And oh, he wasn't done. Not by a long shot. He then went on to lay out these incredible details about the nature of this contact, describing a formal, organized relationship, and he even had a name for the group of beings involved.
He calls them the Galactic Federation. According to Eshed, this isn't random encounters. We're talking about an organized relationship between a whole group of alien species and the United States government. So you gotta ask, what's the purpose of a relationship like that?
Well, Eshed claims an actual contract was signed. The goal? A joint research project to understand the fundamental fabric of the universe. He even alleges this agreement lets the Federation conduct experiments right here, on Earth, which is a pretty wild potential explanation for why the US is such a hotspot for UFO sightings and abduction stories. Puts a new spin on it, right?
And this slide really gets to the heart of the whole story. On one side, you've got the US government being so careful with its sterile official language, unexplained aerial phenomena, off-world vehicles. And on the other side, you have Haim Eshed just saying it. Extraterrestrials, Galactic Federation. It's like 2 completely different realities colliding.
So this all leads to the biggest, most obvious question of all. If this has been going on for years, why are we hearing about it now? Why did the Pentagon start dropping videos, and why did Haim Eshed suddenly decide to speak out?
According to Eshed, the extraterrestrials themselves were the ones who said to keep it under wraps, and their reasoning was pretty simple. We just couldn't handle it. The shock would cause mass hysteria, and we apparently needed to evolve a bit more before we could understand our real place in the cosmos.
As for why he's talking now, Eshed is pretty clear. He says if he'd said all this 5 years ago, people would have thought he was crazy. He would have been hospitalized. But now, the whole public conversation has shifted. As he says, they're already talking differently.
Plus, from his perspective, he's got nothing to lose. He's got his degrees, his awards, a respected career. He feels free to finally share what he knows.
So when you just lay it all out, you see this incredible rush of events. It all starts with the Pentagon's videos. Then it gets supercharged by Esched's bombshell claims. And then it's actually made law with the Disclosure Bill. All of it was pointing to that deadline, that moment when the U.S. government was legally supposed to show its cards.
So look, whether you believe the super cautious statements from the Pentagon or the absolutely extraordinary claims from Haim Eshed, one thing is clear. The era of denial and total secrecy is ending. Some kind of disclosure isn't a matter of if anymore, it's when. And that leaves us with the only real question left. Is humanity ready for it?